Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review 1000 Days to Escape. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $5. So in this game, you're going to be trying to get all of your people off of your planet and populating other planets within 1000 days, as the name implies. Your planet has an unlimited number of rockets. Apparently these guys are very rich and can afford thousands of rockets. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sending rockets to these unexplored planets within your system, and the map is randomly generated every time. And you're going to be using probes to figure out, okay, this is what the planet has right now, and then on your second rocket attempt, you can fill up your rocket with, say, temperature regulators and gravity regulators and the like to make the planet more habitable. And then you can start sending your population to these planets. Now, there is no time control in this game, unfortunately. You can hit escape to access the menu, but there's no like in-game pause to where you can easily navigate and figure out, okay, this is what I need to click on to do this. So first time players to this game are going to see that clock ticking, and they may get frustrated going, well, I'm not getting anything done and it's already day 800, I fail at this. Well, okay, that's a complaint I have with the game too. You're going to need several playthroughs to really get a good score for this game. So I just want to warn you, don't get frustrated. Just play the game over and just keep trying until you get used to it. It sucks. It does suck. I know that there is no dedicated pause button so that you can, get used to the interface and not have to fight it to figure out what it is you're supposed to do. So yeah, this game is fairly interesting, although it does have a number of problems. So whenever you're loading up your rocket, some of the items that you add to your rocket, like you actually have to open the nose of the rocket by clicking and dragging. And then if you need to fill up your rocket with fuel, which you have to do, every single rocket needs fuel. So you have to click and hold the fuel canister over the rocket and it'll pour into it. And each planet is a certain distance away, so you have to figure out how much fuel you'll need and time it so that you're not overfueling your rocket, so that you're not wasting it. You can click on existing inventory of the rocket to remove it. You can right-click it to remove all of it, or left-click removes an incremental amount, like 10, 20, something like that. But when you get to the people, like let's say that you've brought a rocket to the planet with a probe, and now you know what it needs. You've loaded up your second rocket with a temperature regulator and fauna, which is what the planet needs in order to be habitable. Let's say you've done that. You still have room left over for population. You grab the little house button, and then you have to shake it like a salt shaker over the rocket, and it dumps people into the rocket. Now, that's cute and all, but that does a number on my wrist. So I wish there was a way to automatically add things to the rocket without having to click and drag and shake and other things that annoy the tendons in my wrist. You know what I mean? So it's very arcadey in that sense. I just wish it had more quality of life updates that, made it more accessible to people for people that have trouble, constantly clicking or constantly shaking the mouse or whatever. It's very annoying. So yeah, you're racing against the clock. Your oxygen reserves on your planet will be 1,000 days. Last for another 1,000 days, and it's your job to get as many people as you can to these other planets before the time goes up. Whenever the time does expire, it'll give you your final score. You quit. You start the game again. There's no persistent progression, unfortunately. Like I wish there was a way to from one map to the next, get better at it by, even if it was just a very small passive upgrade tree, it would have given me a reason to keep playing other than to just beat my previous high score. There are upgrades in the game when you're on a current run. For example, when you're adding fuel to your rocket, it does so in increments of 10, and you have to click and hold longer for the fuel to fill up. When you get enough stuff done, you will eventually be able to upgrade to fuel number 2 and then fuel number 3, and that will increase the incremental amounts in which the rocket will fill up with fuel. So the better fuel is more efficient. The better temperature regulators, you don't have to add 2 or 3 of them to make the planet habitable. Just the upgraded one will suffice. So there are 3 levels to the different tools that you have to make a planet habitable or to fuel your rocket. You can even upgrade your rocket up to 3 times. You start with 1, and then level 2, then level 3. And it just makes the rocket bigger so that you can hold more stuff. The primary currency in this game is science, and you get science, sort of like in Kerbal Space Program, where you get science for points for just about doing anything. You kind of get points for doing stuff in here too, like sending a rocket to explore planet, 100 science. Um, Getting a planet completely full of population, like if you've sent 500 people to a planet and it needs 500, and it can only support 500, then you get extra points for that. So you're getting a lot of different points for doing things. There is a military aspect, but it's very light. Some planets you explore will have some enemies on it, and you just, instead of sending civilians, you send warriors, and they draw from the same population pool, but they're just heavier than standard population. That's the only difference between them. Um, so yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just there are again some elements to it that are annoying, and no pause button. The salt shaking house thing. Another issue that I have is the constant need for math. Let's say the planet you've sent people to already, there's 113 people on that planet. It can support 200. So you're in your head, you're going, okay, 200 minus 113. Okay, I'm salt shaking. Okay, how many, quick math, how many do I need? 117. That's 83. Okay, so I need 83 people. Or you've come across another planet. You've got 235 people on it, and it can support 400. Okay, so 400 minus 234 is this, blah, 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 blah. And you get rid of the 0, add a 10 to this. So it's like, it's a constant subtraction thing. So you're constantly subtracting, trying to figure out how many people to bring with you. If you bring too many people, they die off because overpopulation. So, that's bad. Oh, and quick tip, don't forget to close the nose of your cone of your rocket before you launch it, because it'll just get destroyed and everyone will die. So that's just a quick tip. So yeah, it's arcadey. The game's fairly cheap. It does suffer from some issues that prevent me from, really playing it over long stretches of time, but it's kind of cool for what it is. I would love a game like this, but over a longer period of time, more of a strategy game as opposed to an arcade game. This is more arcadey, very quick, make quick decisions, get people. I would love something like this in a longer stretch of, like not a 4X, but more of like okay, your planet's going to blow up in, say, 5,000 days. A more extensive tech tree, more extensive everything. I would love something like that. I've yet to find it. Maybe I do have it, and my old age, I forgot. But yeah, this isn't bad for $5. It might interest you, so go check it out. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.